Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the ninth episode of CrossRoads. Today, in this episode, I have my friend Ketan with me. Ketan recently attended the Code for Good hackathon conducted by JP Morgan, and their team won the first position in their category, and he also got a pre-placement offer from JP Morgan. Hi, Ketan, welcome to the show.
Hello, Guru. Thanks for having me here.
Okay. Just for the benefit of all the viewers, can you just give a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Ketan Sahu, and I'm in NI Mysore, fourth year student in computer science branch. And my native place is uh, Ranchi, Jharkhand. So
Okay.
that
Okay. So let's talk about the whole journey of Code for Good, starting from your first round till the time you got your pre-placement offer. So, what was the first round in the competition?
so first round was coding round. We had two questions were given, and
Hmm.
we had to solve them in limited time. The time was like 90 minutes. As far as I remember, we had been given 90 minutes to solve those two questions.
Okay. And what was the kind of questions that were asked for? How much was the difficulty level? How could you solve? How did you solve them? What time did it take for you to finish them?
There were two questions. Like the first one was based on brute force. It was kind of greedy, but it had
Hmm.
some conditions in that. So
Hmm.
the question was like, uh, you are given a certain amount of money, and
Hmm.
then you go to a mall, and the
Hmm.
mall, like inside the mall, the items are arranged in a row. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
so how you select item is that if you start selecting items from a particular index or a
Hmm.
particular position, you can only select continuous items.
Okay.
So you have to select items in such a way that you buy the maximum item with the given amount.
Okay.
So yeah, so what I did in this was I applied this concept of finding the maximum sub array in a given array for a
Okay.
particular sum.
Hmm.
Uh, that was not exactly for this question because I couldn't pass two test cases in this.
Hmm.
Like because there was this condition that I didn't focus on that you can buy items even if the sum does not equals to the total amount. Okay, so if I start finding subarray for that particular sum, this may happen that there does not exist a subarray that equals to that sum, but is less than that sum, and you can still buy those items. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I couldn't clear two test cases in this, and this was basically a brute force question, and many of my friends cleared it.
Okay. And the second question was?
Second question was based on string. It was string operation. I don't exactly remember what the question was, but I used hashing in that. It didn't take much time to solve this. It hardly takes like 10 or 15 minutes to solve the second one. It was
Okay.
easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is great that at least you remember the first question. Most of the people they don't remember the questions as well. I think it's already been more than 5 months, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. It's already 3 months. I remember it because it took me longer to solve the first question. I was
Okay.
trying hard to get those two test cases clear. I was like, why is this not getting cleared? So
Okay.
yeah, that's what made it remember it.
That happens with most of the people. So the
Yeah.
second round was a video interview, right? Or like how was the second round after the first coding round?
Yeah, second round was video interview. Like after we got result for the first round after like, within like 10 days, and then we got our name for the video questions.
Hmm.
So they gave us a link. There was this website named Hire Pro
Hmm.
where they put up two questions, and we have to answer those questions and record our face while answering those things. It was video questions, and we have to send it. So yeah, that's it. Only two questions in second round.
So what were the questions that you got? They were all pre-recorded questions, right? So you could prepare for the questions, or you just directly told the answers there itself first time?
Yeah, those questions were pre-recorded. No, I didn't see the questions before, but I asked one of my friend, like, uh, she managed to do it before me. So I
Okay.
asked, like, what questions did they ask? So I got to know that there were two kinds of questions. Like one was when you were like uh, when your communication was not clear enough, and
Mm,
then how you improvised it, and
mm.
then second question was on your goal and achievements.
Okay, okay. So can you, if you remember the answers to those questions, can you just reiterate them now? Tell them now again.
So for the first question where they asked me to share an experience where my communication was not good enough,
Mm,
so this happened in our college itself. So I shared that experience. So what we had to do is when I was in third year,
mm,
we made like teachers made a batch of third year people to teach
mm.
students of first year. So we
Okay.
had to go and teach them the basic C programming.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started teaching them, after some times I realized that they are not catching those terms or maybe not getting the concept clearly
Mm-hmm.
because I was using the official the terminology, the official terminology that you use while studying and all. So that
Okay.
that may be difficult for start beginners, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I thought at the moment was how I learn the subjects is that I break down those things into smaller concepts and using the much simpler words and taking examples that we can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's what I did there at that moment. I
Okay.
broke down the hard explanations and terms into simpler words, and then I communicated with them. So they started getting it. They started catching things faster. So this was my answer to the first question.
Okay.
And for the second one, where they asked me to tell about my goals and my achievements, I told that I have some short-term goals and some long-term goals. So in short-term goals, I mentioned that I want to get good at competitive coding,
Mm-hmm.
coding in general, because I like I like creating things, and I always wanted to create something that other people can use. And I think coding is one of the way to reach there.
Okay.
So yeah, and one other short-term goal is to clear ICPC. This had been my goal since the first year of my college, and though my placement or training was slow initially,
Mm.
but I'm looking towards it. So this was the short-term goals, and then long-term goal is to work for some good company initially, like Google or any other big company like Microsoft or JP Morgan. I took their name,
Mm.
obviously, because I can't leave them. It was their interview. So
Okay.
yeah. So I said JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. So some big company like this. So I get
Okay.
it experience from there. So these were my answer to these questions.
Okay. So that's nice. You really, even though you looked at the statements for the first time, these were, I think, very good answers. Very, very good and nice answers to the questions.
Yeah, even after knowing the questions, I started getting nervous while recording the video because that was like first time I started recording. Okay. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
I never faced the interview before this,
Mm-hmm.
and for the first question when I started, I pressed recording. I stuck in between and like my hands were shivering. I drank some water in the middle of the video and then I paused it. And
Mm-hmm.
thankfully, I had the second chance to record the same question. So I
Okay.
recorded it again.
So after the video interview round, after how many days did you get the results that this many people were selected from your college for the actual actual hackathon?
After video round, this time they took a bit longer. Like first result was out really soon. This
Mm-hmm.
time they took longer, and as far as I remember, we got the result by the last week of May.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so I remember this because in the form when we got the form to fill for hackathon, there was mentioned that like 27th of June and 28th of June were the hackathons in Mumbai, or
Mhm.
20th June, I guess.
Mhm.
So yeah, at that time I started planning that I have to book tickets and all. I mean, I was ready to go to Mumbai even if the COVID is there.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So then it was supposed to be held on June 27, 28. So again, it was postponed, right, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Usually they conduct it in June and like mid of June and the first week of July. So
Okay.
they conduct it in batches.
Mhm.
So it goes like mid of June one batch and then end of June and then first week of July.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So then from there it was postponed to.
From there it was postponed by a month. So they pushed the date ahead by a month, and the first batch for this time was on 23rd of July for
Mhm.
colleges in Mumbai,
Mhm.
and the second batch was conducted on 6th to 9th August, and the
Mhm.
third batch was conducted by 13th August, and yeah, by 13th August, 13th to 17th August.
Okay. So you were in which batch?
I was in second batch, that is 6th to 9th August.
So can you just walk us through what all happened in the 4 days, like 6 to 9 you told, right? So when was the hackathon? What all kind of interactions you had with the employees or the people of JP Morgan and all?
Yeah. Okay, so on the 6th of August, we had a small meeting.
Hmm.
They briefed us about the hackathon and
Hmm.
what all things will be there and what all things will be there after hackathon. Like
Okay.
about the pre-placement offers and all the job descriptions and all that we would be getting after clearing this.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first day. There was nothing much, just a small like briefing about hackathon and after hackathon thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was on 6th of August. The 7th of August, we had two meetings. One was morning by 10, as far as I remember. And that time, they walk us through the website that they created for conducting this hackathon. So
Okay.
since this time it was online,
Mm-hmm.
they obviously needed a platform to conduct it. So they
Mm-hmm.
created this website where they post every new discussion and announcement and everything related to those hackathons. The
Mm-hmm.
problem statement and all were everything were posted there itself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's they walked us through the website in the first meeting of 7th of August,
Mm-hmm.
and in second meeting that was in the evening,
Mm-hmm.
that was like be getting familiar to our teammates. So
Okay.
that day we got to know our teammates, and they even told us some important things that we should keep in mind while attending the hackathons, like few of the things like Git and all, how to work with Git. Those things they played a small tutorial, means they show those tutorials live there itself. Then they
Mm-hmm.
conducted small interactive games so that we can interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they mentioned how SMEs were for helping us in if we get stuck. So they mentioned how SMEs would be helping you, or how you can contact SMEs, or how you can contact your mentors if in trouble. So everything they walked through everything in detail
Mm-hmm.
on 7th of August. And on 9th of August, 8th of August, early morning by 7 a.m. I guess. Yeah, by 7 a.m. They posted the problem statements on the website. So that time they posted the problem statement, and from that time the organizations who came to JP Morgan with those problem statements,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they started presenting their presentation explaining their problem statements and their requirements.
Okay.
So that took almost 2 hours. So from 7 to 9 we looked for we saw every presentation and went through all the problem statements, and that was our time to decide to rank our problem statements accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time, like by 9, when the presentation ends, we were asked to uh, send those rankings
Mm-hmm.
to the organization. So we had this monkey survey website, like they use this monkey survey website where we have to uh, put the ranking and send them. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like, since there were, I guess, 7 organizations.
Mm-hmm.
So no, 7, 6, I guess. Uh, so we had to um, rank the problem statement according to your preference. So if
Okay.
you prefer the particular problem statement, uh, so you put that in the first ranking, and if
Mm.
you are lucky, you get that problem statement. Else, they said give you the second one, or if not, even if not the second one, they give you the third one. Like it's
Okay.
like in for one problem statement, only 10 people can, or 8 people can do that. Okay.
8 people or 8 teams?
8 teams, sorry, yeah, 8 teams.
Okay. Okay.
So that was the condition. That's why they asked us to rank. And so we already decided that whatever the thing was, whatever the problem statement will be, we will not select things like machine learning things, because none of us know those things well. I mean, I learned only the basic things, so I was not confident in that. And I
Okay.
asked other team members if they know machine learning. So
Mm-hmm.
none of them knew it. All were in basic level. So we
Okay.
already know that we have to put these statements at the bottom. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we looked for the easiest one, and we
Okay.
decided when, as soon as the portal opens, we'll just put these statements and send. A note will not give a second thought.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was the early morning thing, and we sent those ranking in as soon as we can when the portal opened. So that
Okay.
was, we got to do the statement what we'll be getting. And after, yeah, and then the hackathon started by 11. We got our problem statement in next 15 minutes, I guess. Yeah, so we started discussing it on, and the hackathon started by 11,
Mm.
and it went till next morning 11. Yeah, we coded for 24 hours straight.
So did you sleep in between or you did not sleep at all?
No, I did not sleep at all. I was super excited. Means uh, I was really
Okay.
enjoying that moment. Like, because I had been preparing for this for a long. Um,
Okay. Okay. Mm.
since the second interview, I started preparing. So
Okay.
I was really excited. I just wanted to put everything what I have learned. I just wanted to put there.
Mm.
And I was enjoying it, so I just couldn't sleep.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
like
yeah.
how did you decide who will work on what part of the system and all of that?
Um, so after getting the problem statement, what we did was like, okay, first thing, this team formation thing. Okay, like
Mm.
our team was a bit uh, one-sided. I mean, what happened was we earlier had 5 members in our team.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Before that, we had 4. Like, what happened was, when the team was distributed, we had only
Mm-hmm.
4 members.
Okay.
So and teacher told that, mentors were told that no group should have less than 5 members. So we got to know, when all the team members introduced, we got to know that we have only 4 members in our team. So I
Mm.
posted an announcement in the website that we only have 4 members in our team. If anyone out there is who belongs to team 5, my team was team 5.
Mm.
So if anyone belongs to team 5, contact me.
Mm-hmm.
But no one contacted.
Mm.
Then next, after next few minutes, they suffered the team because of that,
Mm-hmm.
and we got fifth member in our team.
Mm-hmm.
This was on 7th of August. Uh,
Okay.
we got fifth member in our team. On 8th of August, what happened? Like, uh, after getting the problem statement, when we started discussing, when we
Mm-hmm.
started distributing the work,
Mm.
as so there was this lady in our group,
Mm.
and her brother got infected from COVID.
Okay,
And
so bad. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was like bad luck. So she had to leave the contest there, then and there, because her parents were leaving for uh, their brother, her brother. He
Mm.
lives somewhere far from them. So she
Okay.
told us she cannot work in this group anymore. She cannot participate in this contest. And then
Mm-hmm.
we were back again to 4 members. And
Okay.
I guess our team was the only team with 4 members in the whole contest. So how we distributed the work is, now among those 4 members, those none of them, like, only I knew Django.
Mm.
And if we talk about other technology stack, then there was this other guy, Keso, who
Mm.
knew Express.js and Node.js, but
Okay.
that was really difficult to deal with. Like, what problem statement we got had some much requirement that we never used Node.js for high requirement, so I don't really know if it
Mm-hmm.
can support. Like, they wanted video content and all,
Mm-hmm.
so even he was not confident that we can use Node.js or not. And
Mm.
I knew Node.js, but I never used video and all in Node.js. So when I was not confident in them, so we decided to go with Django.
Mm-hmm.
And by saying that my team was one-sided, I mean that the rest of three only know front end now. None of them knew Django.
Okay.
So what we did was, I took up the whole backend thing, and those three people took the front end thing. So that was not pretty good distribution though, but that's what we decided to go with. So that's how we distributed the work.
Okay. Can you just tell me what the problem statement was? We talked so much about how distributed were different things and all. What your problem statement was and what the other problem statements were?
Yeah. So my problem statement was, uh, there was this organization Lahi called Lend a Hand. So
Okay.
there, they had two major requirements. They actually wanted to do was to create a website for a
Mm-hmm.
particular school. Suppose uh, they wanted to create a website where the contents will be uploaded and teachers and students can use those contents, study materials. So they
Okay.
had two major requirements in them,
Mm-hmm.
that they could post video contents or
Mm-hmm.
audio contents
Mm-hmm.
uh, from their side itself without using a third party extension like storage, like not using YouTube or something, but their
Okay.
own platform to host those videos. So
Okay.
that was the first requirement, among the major requirements I'm talking about. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the first requirement, and second one was, the content should be shareable via WhatsApp or SMS. Like, in SMS you can send links, in
Mm-hmm.
WhatsApp you can send either link or the content directly. So that was their second requirement, and these two requirements were their major requirements.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was our problem statement. Like, they want, and in detail if you ask, I'll go through this in, I mean, I think I should not take much in explaining the whole question, but in detail what they wanted was, there should be a website
Mm-hmm.
such that there has to be an admin from the school who control the whole website, and the admin has authority to upload contents in mass.
Mm-hmm.
And so this mass upload was also among one of the major requirement. They wanted the content should be uploaded in mass, so it does not take much time to select one content. Just select one file that contains all the videos and audios and just dump it there in the website.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this should be the admin should be authorized to do this. Then admin has the authority to create teachers and
Mm-hmm.
then send those credentials to teachers. And
Mm-hmm.
then teachers should have the authority to create students and then send those credentials to students so that student can log in and study from there. And teachers should also be able to upload contents if they want. So this was
Okay.
their requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And about other organization, I don't clearly remember their requirements because I didn't focus much on that. This was the easiest, so we selected this and like we decided to go with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, after you completed the whole hackathon, how there were presentations, I might be like, so how did the presentations go on and how were you judged? Can you tell something about that?
Uh, yeah, like we had to present our project in front of those organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, these technical people came and judged our whole website
Okay.
based on our work. So they checked for whatever we claimed that we have implemented. So we
Mm-hmm.
implemented those videos things, and then mass content, and then WhatsApp sharing,
Mm-hmm.
downloadability of those content. So
Okay.
they checked everything,
Mm-hmm.
and like if the content is downloadable or not, if if it is really sharing through WhatsApp or not, and
Mm-hmm.
if the video is not from a third party website, like it should not be like you just copied the link from YouTube and then pasted it in your website and playing the video. So they checked all these things, and then they checked for the responsibility of the not responsibility, uh, what
Contribution.
contribution. They checked. I'm talking about this. Forgetting that term. Uh, how flexible your website is. I am not getting that term.
Okay.
Responsive, how responsive your website is. They
Okay.
checked for, yeah, that was one of the major thing they also focused on in front end. In back end, they already checked. In front end, they wanted to check the responsiveness of the website, so they checked it for each page. So that was the technical thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when we presented things to organization, they checked for the major things they were looking for, that
Mm-hmm.
is the mass content management and the WhatsApp shareable thing. And
Okay.
this presentation was really interesting. Like what happened was, we were the first team to present, okay, and
Okay.
since we focused more on functionality, we didn't have enough time to design the website. So our website was like completely basic. Like it looked like a 90s website, okay, not
Okay.
much of it. So
Mm-hmm.
we presented it, and I thought I showed the website there, and then I was like, okay, maybe other people are really good at website. Our was first team, so I had no idea. So we
Okay.
showed them everything. All we focused on functionality, showing them the functionality. So we
Mm-hmm.
showed that we have videos in our website that you can play. We played the video. We showed them, okay, the video is playing. We shared it through WhatsApp. We used the original, the official API of WhatsApp to share the content through WhatsApp, and they were really happy with that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they asked few questions like, can you compress these videos and store it with less memory?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought for a few seconds, and then I thought that, okay, I had to come up with some answer. I can't simply say no. So I said that, yeah, we can do it. We can compress it. Now I'm simply storing it in database. So it is not, and we had less time, so I couldn't do it. But if we use higher backend functionality like Firebase or something, or AWS, maybe we can do that. So it is scalable to a huge content thing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I told them to prevent. So that's there. I mean, we were done. Then the second team came up, and their website was like really good. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it was really good looking. I was impressed. I saw their website and I was like, damn, I we lost here only.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then when they started presenting, uh,
Mm-hmm.
they did not put as much functionality as ours. Okay,
Okay.
so they did not had videos in their website for playing videos. Like they used links. They store those videos in Google Drive, or maybe host them in YouTube, and they were pasting those links in the website. Okay,
Okay.
and there were no audio files in there. Like we even stored the audio files in the page, that you can just press and play the audio files. They were not storing the audio files as well. They have to store it in Google Drive. So that was also there. And then WhatsApp sharing thing.
Mm-hmm.
They used a third party app called Twilio
Mm-hmm.
that charges you. It charges you to use the WhatsApp sharing facility.
Okay.
So so they. implemented that in trial basis, and that's it. Like that was there. They were over their website were good looking. It was the functionality was less. So I was like, okay, one person. I mean, at that moment I knew that in functionality they will never put them above us. So yeah, but then other teams were there. But by the time we finished all the teams, I got to know that we were the only team for that organization who could implement this mass content management thing properly with proper video showing and audio showing things in website. Like no other group did that, and every other group in that for that organization they used Twilio, so they were charging you for sharing it through WhatsApp. But
Mhm.
I was the only team who implemented WhatsApp for free. So
Okay.
these two were the plus point, and by the time every team finished presenting their this presentation, I knew that we are in the top. Like even though our website don't look good, we have a high chance of winning this for this organization.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
how the presentation went well.
Okay. So, and then when were the results announced?
Yeah, it was announced on the same day, on 9th of August, after presentation. It took like I don't remember how much time that took. I don't remember, but it was announced soon after the presentation, like maybe a 1.5 hour. By 4 p.m., 5 p.m. in the evening, I got to know the result.
Okay. And so,
Yeah,
how many people from your team got the replacement offer?
all of us got.
Okay,
So
that's very nice to hear.
yeah, everyone's like, it was really exciting that time when they got the result. We got to know for the PPO was few days back. I guess I got to know that by uh, I don't remember what was the date. Few days back.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, about four or
So,
5 days back.
okay. So, how did you prepare for all of this? Like, you might have learned web development and all that, right? I think. How did you choose this tech stack itself? I wanted to learn Django, all of it. Can you explain a bit about that?
Yeah. So after the result for the video round was out,
Okay.
I got to know that my name was selected. So I started preparing from that time. So I asked my senior that what should I focus on that would be helpful there. So they told that some told React, some told like it's okay, you just be strong in that. Uh, so I was like, yeah, okay. I already have word with Node.js, and I knew that Node.js is a bit lengthy platform to work on. So I started looking for something small, something powerful, and but does not require much of coding, because obviously we had only 24 hours to work
Okay.
in.
Mhm.
So I got to know that Django uses Python, and I can use Django, and Python is really powerful. So I started learning Python after that. So
Okay.
initially I was like, I used to watch a 1 hour of video. I mean, I was doing course on Django. I did like 3 courses in 1 month in Django. All were video guided projects, but you get to learn a lot from those projects. Okay, so did those 3 courses and 3 projects on them, and then one project by myself. And so yeah, that's what my routine. That was my routine. Like I used to watch one video or two videos per day. Those videos were for like 2 hour length, and per day initially in the beginning of the May. By the end, when I had only 15 days left, I started uh, completely on development part. I stopped other works. So that's what I did, and then I learned a bit of React and all, but we never used React in our project.
Okay, so that's nice. I think you've discussed in length about the whole process. I think nobody would give such a detailed explanation. So, what would your advice be to people from our college who are preparing for code, or for that matter, what would your advice as a senior, final year senior, be to everyone who's preparing for placements or hackathons or anything for that matter?
Uh, m- from my experience, what I can say is everyone who is in college, if for computer science, basically, I'm telling, I don't know about other branches, but you don't need to focus on marks unless you want to go for master studies. Like marks will never matter.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Matters maybe only for the first year after the college. That's it. Not even, and that too, if you are above 8, you can just chill. Like you don't have to worry about it. No companies ask for CGPA above 7.5. So if you're 8, like you can just relax and focus on other things like coding and all. And coding is really important. Like if you're in first year of the college, maybe you may feel coding is tough, but you just, if you just stick to it and do one question a day, you'll be finishing 365 questions in a year, and just count that for 4 years, and that would be just enough to get in a really good company. uh, in second year only most of the company come. So what my advice to them is, just do simple questions. Even if you're in first year, just do simple questions, be consistent. That's it. You'll have some confidence to sit for those companies. And uh, in a while, just focus on development part of the coding, like DSA. All you have to do DSA, but development part is also important because hackathons and all require these development skills. You have to do some back end or front end. That's the advice for college students.
Okay, Ketan, thank you. I think we have discussed in length about the whole Code for Good hackathon, your experience, and how you participated in that. I
Yeah,
think that's it. It's the and we are done. We have talked extensively about everything. Thank you, Ketan. Thanks for being on the show. I think this will be very helpful for people who are looking for what to do in
Thank-
Code for Good or how it will be conducted.
yeah. Thanks for having me, Guru.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.